Talawakelle is a town in the Nuwara Eliya district. It is situated at an elevation of 1,200 meters above sea level. While being the largest tea-growing region in Sri Lanka, the area has some interesting sights and landscapes to enjoy. The Kothmali Oya is a tributary of the Mahaweli River and is responsible for creating two spectacular waterfalls in the area. The first is the St.Clairs Falls, which has derived its name from the tea estate it is located in. The falls are 80 meters high and is the 20th highest waterfall in Sri Lanka. Upstream from the waterfall is the Upper Kothmali hydropower project. Though generating renewable energy, it has reduced the volume of water going through the falls. The Devon waterfall is located close by to St. Clairs. It was named after a British colonial-era planter named Devon, and whose estate was situated nearby. The waterfall is narrow and long, and cascades a height of 97 meters. Both falls are a very scenic stop for tourists, as they are surrounded by mountain peaks and lush tea fields. Viewpoints for both St. Clairs and Devon waterfalls are beside the main road. From the central region of Kandy, the terrain rises in elevation until you reach Nuwara Eliya and the plateau of Hatton Plains. In between these locations lies the Dimbula Valley. Just over 150 years ago, these areas were uninhabited lush jungle tracts. This all came to an end during the 1870s. Dimbula was selected by the colonial planters as one of the first locations to be planted with the so-called green gold. The tea grown here is characterized as high-grown, as most estates are at an elevation in excess of 1,100 meters. From the beginning of the year, all the way up to early April, the best teas are produced from these valleys, which experience cool and crisp days, and cold and windy nights. The tea from this area is a delicate golden orange and has a refreshingly mellow flavor. The Tea Research Institute is also situated in Talawakelle. It is the only national body which is instrumental in generating new research and tests innovative technology related to the processing and cultivation of tea. The present location of the Tea Research Institute is St. Combs Estate in Talawakelle. The scientists and researchers working here are tasked with troubleshooting problems arising in the cultivation and processing of different cultivar. While developing new strains resistant to pest and fungal disease, they focus on creating variants which are increasingly productive and resilient. The main town of Talawakelle is a busy hubbub of shops and street vendors. The town of Nuwara Eliya is now just 27 kilometers ahead if your journey brought you through Hatton. Other than a few petrol stations, the central bus stand is the most predominant building. The Great Western Mountain is found in the region of Talawakelle and is the 7th highest mountain in Sri Lanka. Its steep ascent and indistinct trail paths make access very difficult. However, it does provide some spectacular scenery and landscapes of the area. The famed Kandy Bedula train journey passes through this mountain range and valley. It's referred to by many tourists as one of the most spectacular train journeys in the world. The trains slowly make their way through the winding tracks that end up in Talawakelle. However, to reach its next main stop, the train has to make a circuitous detour, initially going north towards Watagoda, and then across the hills, passing the Great Western and Bedula train stations, before finally reaching Nana Oya. Within the area of Talawakelle and in the town of Poondaloya lies a small waterfall. The Dunsinane Falls is created when the Poondal Oya flows over a small rocky outcrop, before running under a bridge and finally meeting the Kothmali Oya further downstream. Due to its roadside location, and probably due to the Hindu iconography placed within the cascade, it has become a popular stop and photo opportunity for people traversing this section of the Dimbula Valley.